I was working as a software engineer at the European Bioinformatics Institute, working in the function genomics group, and so we were building the gene expression atlas and the array express repository, both for basically visualization and management of the transcriptomics data. So when we sort of first started eTRIKS at the beginning, there was always this talk about integrating the data from the different IMOI projects, and there was always all these powerful queries that people wanted to do, and not realizing really the problem back then that wasn't just that Transmart had some features that were missing. Transmart was the tool that was always on board. And it wasn't just about building extra features in there. I think that was the realization that actually we need to build a different platform for standardization of the data that would take care of integration and harmonization of the data before it got into the pipeline of exploring the data or even analyzing the data like it is in Transmart. So that was sort of the general motivation to build a platform that actually serves the translation research data for purposes of data management and data harmonization. So the EHS is simply a standards-based platform for the management and the integration, harmonization of the data in translation research domain, so basically covering clinical and non-clinical data. And the point about the EHS value really is that it targets the end users, and it's meant to be really very simple. I mean, everyone knows that standards are not it's a very boring issue, and people do dislike sticking to standards and having to fill in forms. So the whole idea of the platform is that it tries to put all these theoretical and very boring things in practice and into a very usable system that users can just sign in, they find the right templates, and it gives them a very real experience and they see the benefit right away of using such standards in the data. So apart from all the, obviously the usual technical challenges that such a project could face, I think by far the biggest challenge has been trying to convince the consortium in general that this is something that we need to do. I think I remember it took a bit, like at least a year, or maybe just under that, all the meetings, because everyone, as I said, everyone was so fixed on Transmart being the platform to use, and I was trying to say, okay, I'm not saying Transmart is bad, I'm just saying that we need something else that would help the users of Transmart to actually gain the value from it. So I think it is that culture shift really that we're trying to convince them that we need to invest into building such a platform. That was the biggest challenge, and I think we've passed that hurdle now, and definitely they see the benefit. I think the importance of it lies in the fact that, at least from what we see, I mean, it's always been driven really by user requirements. So we've always found, because in eTRIKS we're so exposed to so many different IMAP projects, actually it is a service project, so we actually serve other projects. I think from what we've seen is that all of these projects seem to demand that very same requirement. We want to be able to integrate our data. We want to be able to manage them in a standard way. We want them to be able to compare them with other studies, that we want to have sort of that metadata level data exploration. We don't want to be able to have the whole pipeline of analytics right away from the beginning. So I think this whole project is trying to answer for that, and I think this is where the importance lies, is the fact that actually a lot of projects are asking for it, and it gives them a first entry into looking at the data before they start writing these complicated analytical pipelines. So on the front of scalability, I'd like to say that the platform is scalable because, I mean, right from the very beginning when we were writing it up, I never really tried to write this up as a prototype to start off with, and we actually had that in mind right from the first day, and I think that's why it took a lot of time to get it done. It's just we had that scalable sort of infrastructure right from the very beginning. So in that sense, I would like to think that indeed the platform, as it has been written so far, allows for scalability. Well, we're sort of still in progress. We're not done yet. We have so many other stuff that we need to build it in. But I think as far as future plans that would go beyond what we promised to do, I think a good move would be towards trying to build a bit of an analytical pipeline inside that application. Because so far, as I've always been saying, the EHS is all about data in, data out. We don't do any analytics in it. But I think if there's so much data in there, and it's all about visualization and exploration of the data, we might as well add a bit of pre-computed stats or something that would aid the users to start exploring the data in a more of guided way rather than just throw everything at them. So I think that would be something that we might look into.